We're looking at the Marine Corps' new support gun in this episode of the Gear Guide. A few years ago, the Marine Corps went looking for a replacement for the SAW. They wanted something lighter, quicker, and allow their soldiers to displace from combat and re-engage from another position without having to hump around something massive. And what they came up with was the M27 IAR from H&K, and this is the airsoft version that's extremely faithful to the real thing. So what you get with the M27 is an 11-inch metal rail, a 16-inch outer barrel, and what it gives you is something that fills quite a few roles. In airsoft, because this can work as a support gun, since the real one is, you have the option to play the SAW role, or because of the longer barrel, you can tune this thing up and turn it into a fantastic DMR. So it's kind of the jack of all trades. The only place it really probably wouldn't do extremely well would be CQB because of the length of the outer barrel. But that aside, this thing is truly the Swiss Army knife of the outdoor game. So if you guys have seen any of the HK416s on the market or the 417s, you will know exactly what you're going to get from the M27. The matte finish, this satin matte finish, looks fantastic. It has the taller upper receiver and rail to accommodate the gas system of the real 416, or in this case, the real M27, and the fire selector markings on the body. And of course, the HK grip that's got this great fat feel to it, and the cap on the end that hides the motor adjustment point. Moving on down the front, like we mentioned earlier, you get this 11-inch rail. It's a big rail. It's beefy. It is solid metal and gives you a ton of space for accessories, or if you want to go purist, you can add a laser like this, a foregrip, and then a bipod to look just like the real M27. On the very end of the barrel, you get a metal flash hider that's your standard A2 type, so if you do want to put a suppressor or something like that on this thing, you can, and extend the inner barrel all the way to the end. Moving on to the back, you get the HK stock, which inside houses the battery. It twists right off, pulls off, makes it super easy to get to. So you have the two tubes on the side to put your nunchucks, and you've got the center tube with plenty of space around the reinforced mil-spec wiring to get those three-piece 11-1 lipos. And to put it back on, you just put the rubber butt pad on and twist it, and it locks right into place. And you do have two sling attachment points, although under really tough use, I'm not sure if I'd use these. I've never heard of them breaking, but I wouldn't want to test it. I'd probably use the third point that's actually built into the middle of the stock, like what you see most of the soldiers running. But where this thing really has changed the game in 2015, and this not just the M27, it's all the HK lineup, is what they've done to the internals. And if you guys want to know if you have a 2015 model, it's simple. Just look at the serial number. The first two digits on there are the last two of the year. So this starts with the 15, so you have a model year 2015 gun. Under the hood, you get, first and foremost, a MOSFET. Yes, you get a real MOSFET in here, and that is a game changer. The trigger response on this gun is insane. The tuning, not to say that the old 416s and M27s and all that were not great, but adding this MOSFET just made a great gun even better. It's crisp, it's sharp. I mean, it feels like a super premium airsoft gun. And it's not just that, they've upgraded a ton of other components under the hood as well. From the piston to the tappet plate, everything they're getting your feedback from, they're making those upgrades. And that's something unique about Elite Force. If you guys don't know this, they really listen to what you guys, the players, are wanting inside the gun. So they make those upgrades to accommodate it. This year, they kept hearing MOSFET, so they added it to it. And what's really great too is they didn't add a lot or anything to the price tag. So that's really neat, seeing a company that makes those innovations and doesn't push the cost of those innovations onto you. Taking it to the chrono, it is absolutely perfect for outdoor. It's just a hair under 400, and that's where this gun is gonna shine. Like I said, it's not really a CQB gun. This is definitely your outdoor gun. So parking right a hair under 400 FPS, this thing is gonna be laying down fire and keeping heads down all day long. And rate of fire was really healthy at a 22 on an 11-1 Elite Force LiPo. It's a 15C Elite Force LiPo, and that's the right spot. I think somewhere between 20 and 25 is the perfect rate of fire for a support gun. It keeps the heads down. You don't really overshoot because most of your engagements are going to be at distance and at range, and that's why that FPS is important. So guys, if you're looking for a gun to fit a lot of roles, whether it be support, DMR, or just a great assault rifle to run around on the battlefield, check out the new M27 IAR 2015 version with the MOSFET, and you can pick this up for around $449 anywhere Elite Force products are sold. All right, guys, I've got to ask you about the MOSFET question. Do you think you're going to see premium guns do it? You've seen a few other brands. Now Elite Force is doing it in their premium guns, and it makes a big difference. Do you think the MOSFET is going to be standard equipment on a premium gun going forward here in 2015 and beyond? Let me know in the comment section below. Well, guys, that's it for this episode of the Gear Guide. I'll be back in the next one where I show you a full auto support pistol with a 400 round drum magazine.